Hello everyone, this is Emmy with the Wauconda Area Public Library, and for this week's Take and Make craft we are making this super cool opening Pokeball with a little Pokemon inside in honor of Poke Week in Kid City. So in your craft kit this week you will receive a Pokemon coloring page, and there will be 10 different choices for you to choose from. And then you will also receive 2 paper plates. Of your own supplies, you will need some scissors, your coloring supplies of choice, and glue and tape. You could do this with just tape, but I recommend the glue. The first thing I'm going to do is color our Pikachu here. And so Pikachu is a pretty recognizable Pokemon. If you want your kids to have a reference of what their Pokemon looks like, feel free to look up a picture of them. There's lots of images for all of the Pokemon that we chose. And feel free to stop into Kid City this week, not just to pick up your craft, but we also have some really awesome activities. We have a super fun Pokemon scavenger hunt where you can win a special Pokemon button. We have a Pokemon Monopoly, a screen-free game for you to check out, and along with this craft we'll have lots of other Pokemon coloring pages. We've also got a few great Pokemon programs, a Pokemon Choose Your Own Adventure, and a Pokemon Zoology program. We'd love to have you for either of those. And if you make this week's Take and Make craft, please tag us at the Wauconda Area Library, at Wauconda Area Library, on either Facebook or Instagram. We'd love to share your post, and if you decide to share yours, please let us know what your favorite Pokemon is. My favorite Pokemon is Grookey, which is why I chose him for the sample. And so you can see that I am taking a little bit of the cardstock that our Pikachu is on and cutting out just a small round white circle, and that will be the button on our Pokeball later. So before I get rid of my scraps, I'm just cutting that out and putting it aside. And I will continue cutting out my Pikachu. Now that our Pikachu is all cut out, we can go ahead and start assembling our Pokeball. So I am first going to decorate the button of our Pokeball by outlining my circle in black and realizing I should probably be using some kind of protectant for the table, and continuing to outline it in black. And once I'm done outlining it, I'll go ahead and add a small black circle in the center. Next, we will attach our Pikachu to our paper plate. So I'm just taking glue and gluing him on to what will be our back paper plate. I'm going to cheat him up a little bit just so that he's definitely visible when we open our Pokeball later in the craft. Here he is in his new home. Let's go ahead and start decorating our Pokeball. If you have a big fan, you can do what I did and do a different type of Pokeball like an Ultra Ball, or I'll show you today how to do just the regular red classic Pokeball. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a thick black line through the center of our paper plate, and I'm positioning the paper plate so that the domed section is out so it looks more like a Pokeball. And then I'm going to color 1/2 of our Pokeball red. And again, I found that, especially with the fluting on the edge of the paper plate, paint works really well. Marker could also be a good option. I'm splitting the difference and using a paint marker today. There are some other fun Pokeball options. There's a very cute Pokeball called the Love Ball. There's a few really cool patterns. So if you are working with a kid who knows a lot more about Pokemon, they can be super creative about which Pokeball they use. Once your top half is fully covered, we can go ahead and cut our Pokeball in half. and attach our button to the red top of the Pokéball. And I'm just gluing that into the center. And I drew my center black line a little too thin, so I'm also adding some black to the top of our bottom white paper plate. From here, I'll glue the white section to the bottom of the paper plate that our Pokemon is sitting on. Because it is a little bit more difficult to stick them together because of the fluting at the edge, I found that it was helpful to add a little more glue than I thought I needed, just so that it stayed really securely. And I also really pressed it together. And our last step is adding some tape to the corner of the red section to make a little door that opens up to our Pokemon. I'm just using Scotch tape here, but I definitely think a stronger tape like duct tape or packing tape could be great. But that is it. That is our finished Pokeball. Thank you so much for joining me and Blue the Fox today, and we will see you next week with a new take in my craft. Bye!